Welcome to another edition of the Viral Virtue Show, that show that promotes a culture of good character, morals, and values. I'm always excited to have you join in. My name is AB, and I have in the studio
Tolu.
Angel. I thought he was going to speak
And
first.
Mali.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. It's always fun having you people stop by.
Thank you for the privilege.
Yes. And Pastor Tolu, you've come a couple of times to the Viral Virtue House. What's your experience been like? Sorry, what have your experience been like?
I would say fun, informative, fun and informative and exciting. The topics are always intriguing.
Oh, nice.
You know, and then there's a bit of banter. I enjoy the banter, and then I love the way we segue into the conclusions. So yeah, and
That's-
warm people, you're very warm yourself.
Thank you.
And yeah, so
Wow, nice. So, Angel, what are we talking about?
The Rev was, I call him the Rev. that's my name for him. Well, he was just asking me what's the short, the topic is artificially ripened. And he was like, what's the one word for that? And I said, shortcuts.
Shortcut.
So we're talking about shortcuts. When what just came to my mind when you talked about it is like, you know, we planted a banana tree, my compound last year.
Okay.
No, 2 years ago. So we waited for a whole year, nothing happened. And then suddenly last year during the rains, we started seeing banana. I was like, oh my God. And I was waiting for
finally.
banana. I was waiting, it soon turned, and every day the children come from school and say, Mom, it's getting bigger. And I was going, we thought it was like still really hard. And that went on for months. You know, like I was like giving up. I was like, really, how long does it take a banana tree to get
actually,
right?
yeah.
So one day, I came from work and they said, the banana has fallen. I was like, how? What happened? So it was still green,
but
and it was really heavy,
That's
Wow.
right.
and it was ripe. So you know when we thought it was like, oh my God, you know, we're so excited. So plus this year, okay, just as that one dropped, another one came out, and we're waiting. Oh, it will soon be time. So last week I told my brother, chop it down. It's ready.
Ooh.
As in, we have taken inside bag. And it's still not right. It's still not ready. I'm like, there have to be some signs that show that it's ripe, even though nothing is visible outside. So I don't know if that helps in any way.
It really does. It does. Growing up, we had a large compound that had bananas too. So when you were saying what you were saying, I just could relate. You know, one very interesting experience we had, even though this is just gist.
Of course.
I remember one of my sisters on the line. So, you know, we're all waiting for the banana. And suddenly we went out, we didn't see banana by the tree anymore. Where's banana? No banana. Next thing, we saw the peels.
Wow.
Maybe 3 days after, one of my sisters had done justice. She played a fast one and also.
Wow. You know, this kind of reminds me of the day and age we are in. Everybody wants the finished product.
Yeah.
But they really don't want the work that goes through, you
Yeah.
know. So that's artificially ripened.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, what that speaks to is process.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah.
For, you know, you talked about the banana tree and finally became ripe. For it to have gotten ripe, there was a process. There were so many things that were happening. You know, so process is key in this age and day where everybody's just, you know, on to the next. Reverend Mali, what do you think?
Yes, you know, as you were talking about process, my mind just went to the chief processor of life and death. That's God.
Yeah.
I mean, you will have just in one day, just said everything. Let there be light. Let there be this. Let there be this. And we'll still be celebrating that scripture that God is very fast.
Exactly.
He still took his time.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
He rested. He rested how? He's not just speaking in quotes, but just to say that the author of life knows that there's process for things. So we have to cue in and see how God helps us in this fast generation.
Just like we'll be queuing a break. We'll be right back. See you soon. Sometimes in life, we find ourselves in a dark place.
Getting kicked out of school just shook my faith because I was like, where were you when this was happening to me, if you loved me, you would have looked out for me.
God felt so far away.
But just in the nick of time, a ray of hope shines through.
He helped me to know that there was a best friend in Jesus.
Even though sometimes we don't hear him or we don't see him, he's actually there.
Stories of men and women who pull through worse experiences filter through to our ears. Hope, joy, peace and love gradually replacing every fear, pain and doubt.
Welcome to 700 Club.
Join us on 700 Club Nigeria and experience stories that will inspire your whole family.
Welcome back. This is still the Viral Virtue Show, the show that promotes a culture of good character, morals, and values. Today we are talking artificially ripened, and we narrowed it down to process. So how will what's process? What does it mean to go through a process?
Process is so lovely. I used to find process terrifying, but then I learned and I find it so lovely, because rather than waiting till the end, you can enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
I feel like once you discover that, then your idea of success and satisfaction is different. And once it's different, then you're able to do much more than you even think, because then you're able to focus on quality, not just quantity. So rather than rushing to get to the end, you're not rushing. You can slow down, focus on the quality, and in some interesting ways, when something has quality, it lasts longer. You're building better. So I would say that building quality, I would say process is about building quality from within, personal, internal development before the external ones. Artificially ripened is that you can sketch nice bananas or make them from rubber, and they will be good for decoration. Like, these are lovely flowers. Good for sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to do that.
No, of course.
Good for decoration, but you see, I can't perceive the fragrance from them.
True.
The vibe that is supposed to come out of it is not coming through. But of course, it's giving its own aesthetics,
That's
vibe,
lovely.
which is good, but the thing we find about when things are real and when things go through processes, it's rounded, it's better.
Yes, it is.
People can't eat this, but fruits that have gone through the process, another person can benefit from it when they come in contact.
They beautify and you can eat them.
Yes.
So can we share an experience where going through a particular process, helped us gain deeper understanding of, the subject or the task we had to do?
Okay, is that my question? Or?
Anybody can answer.
I'm excited to listen.
I mean, okay, let me say that one of the foundations of any financial year is the budgets. Now, the budgets can be done very fast. You just do some dragging in Excel, if you're using Excel sheets. But because it's a projection, your superiors can just come and say, you know what, just slash down or cut down. That means you have to go back again and start picking it. But you know what? If you approach the budgeting system like a building, lay its foundation, connect the formulas, now it is hard work. You could just be laying foundation for a week.
Yeah.
Now, when you are true, oh my God, it's so sweet. When you just say, look, what if there is a tweak? Just, can you reduce by 1%? Just one cell that you touch can change thousands of cells. Why? Because you went through the process of building the budget. Now, there are many other examples, but you know what? Let me listen to you.
That was so good.
So I have two stories. When I think it was in probably just one or primary 6. we caught these caterpillars. And we were like, oh my God. And my mom said, let me tell you guys a story about a caterpillar. And she talked about a boy or a man, I don't know who it was, I can't remember, who saw this pupa. You know, egg, larva, pupa,
butterfly. Yeah.
So he saw this pupa in the cocoon. And he saw the butterfly was trying to squeeze out.
Wow.
Was trying to come out. And I was like, let me help. So he got a razor blade. It was a true life story.
Wow. I'm already.
He got a razor blade. He didn't kill the
Yes, what?
But he helped cut the case. He cut the case so he could come out easily. Guess what? The butterfly just rolled out and was there. Couldn't fly until ants came and devoured it. And so the writer was saying that process of the butterfly squeezing out of the pupa forces blood into the wings. And once the blood gets in the wings, it can fly. So those things that look like, oh, it's so difficult, they actually build us up. Last week, 2 weeks ago, my son, you guys know him, the older one, and he was saying he joined a football team. And so he's not very tall. And we were talking about how the bigger boys don't let the smaller boys play the ball. So they have under 13, they have under 17, and he's in the under 13 group. So I can't remember who it was in the house, was like, maybe we need to go and speak to the coach. And we're actually considering it. And I sat down and said, you know, Jesse, we won't come. He said, Mommy, why? I said, it won't help you. You need to learn to be strong. You need to either learn to be fast enough to get the ball from the bigger boys, or be smart enough to negotiate, to prove your worth, that even the bigger boys will want you on their team because of what you're offering. So I said, Jesse, just imagine if we come and talk for you now, and we talk for you but in SS3. Will I come and talk for you in university? Will I talk for you in your office? I said, I remember Grandma telling me when I was in primary 2. I said, Mommy, they beat me. The first time she said, sorry. Second time, Mommy, they beat me. She said, if you come home tomorrow, I will beat you. I will beat you in front of your school. And so I said, so what am I supposed to do? She said, stand up. Reverend Mali, you know I started. So I had to learn to be strong. And being the oldest among my siblings, I learned not just to stand for myself, but to stand for them as well. And stand for the weak, stand for people who cannot speak for themselves. So what process does is to strengthen us and make us who we are meant to be, and release the potentials we do not even know we have.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. So good.
Yeah, you know, while we're talking, I was just thinking, we're in a microwave age, you know, where everybody seems to want to have the finished product like now. Exactly. And you know, there are still a few people that are passionate about going through the process. But now in a work environment, I'm passionate about doing things the way things should be done. Let's use edits. We are passionate about, you know, using our Premiere Pro or, you know, the software we use to DaVinci to go through to edit to the final cut, you know. But there are some people that have CapCuts. And, you know, there are some people that have those quick, softwares. And so somehow it happens that we see they present themselves to be very productive, and we that go through the process seem to be, you know, how do we balance that?
It's very interesting. I would say that there's no other way to balance it than to spend more time. So if you want to get that quicker, maybe start earlier or work harder or be mentored earlier, because process, sometimes wisdom shortens time. Wisdom redeems time. And there are layers of wisdom. And the different layers of wisdom, still, this redeems time through helping you understand the fundamentals quick enough. But of course, you won't circumvent the fundamentals. So I would say process is process. You still have to go through it. The only other thing is when, in the name of process, we're now being lazy. That's the only other thing. But I know that's not what we're talking about. So we're talking about not wanting to go through process. That's not a good thing. I love what Angel said, because even spiritually speaking, without warfare, you can't sustain anything. Because the way you got it, you will have to sustain it. And that's why these days we see a lot of things gotten quickly and they fizzle out quickly.
They fizzle out quickly.
Why? Because the engine required to sustain it
was not built.
Was not built when you were getting it.
True.
So I find that it can be tough, it can be painful to keep wrestling challenges, but it's also exciting. So I think for us, for me in particular, I've just learned to fall in love with the journey and have of course, about Jesus, the Bible says for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. So that means in the process, he was able to see some kind of joy.
That's so true. When you think about gold, it goes through the process.
Precisely.
And the process most times or sometimes might not be so pleasant. But when you eventually come out, you become gold. So let's take a break, and when we come back, there is more.
Hello, you're still watching Viral Virtue, the show that promotes character, good morals, and values. CMV, right? Yeah. Okay, and today we've been talking about artificially ripened, shortcuts, fast forward, microwave, whatever synonym you choose to use. So I'll be reading 5 things we'd like you to take away from this episode. Number 1, going through a process often involves acquiring and honing new skills. Whether it's learning from challenges, overcoming obstacles, or acquiring specific competencies, the journey contributes to skill development and a broadening of capabilities. Wow. We explained that already, didn't we? Yeah. Number 2, a process provides a deeper understanding of the subject matter or the task at hand. It allows you gain insights, perspectives, and a more nuanced comprehension that might not be achievable without experiencing the various facets of the journey. Pause. Okay, so this takes me to, I don't know if you can remember a few years ago when it was like, God, satisfy me quickly.
Jehovah, sharp.
And he was like, meet your spouse, and then you're married in 3 months.
And
right?
it was a
miracle because there were people that had not been, that were not married for like years. And this was like, so there were mass marriages. And now this is Angel. After going through 2 failed marriages to the same person, and I'm saying that, is there something that sharpness did? So we circumvented the process. Like Pastor Bimbo Odukoya would say, study, learn, grow, fight, make up. So what this point is saying, that there are some things that you cannot achieve except you go through the process. Right. So number 3, going through a process requires self-reflection, self-discovery, and a commitment to improvement. This contributes to enhanced self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and overall personal development.
You're right.
Those of you who know me know that, like my husband says that, Angel, you don't realize that everybody has a body clock. If you do things faster, you'll never be late. And he knows
You're very fast.
I'm very fast. You know what I mean? So what this does is I'm learning myself. I'm learning to prepare the evening before for the next day. I'm learning to cook meals ahead by weekend. So you get to understand yourself. You get to understand your flaws and how to circumvent them so that you can get the better version of yourself. Okay, number 4, mastery comes from experience, and going through the process provides the practical knowledge and expertise that contributes to becoming proficient in a particular area. Finally, patience and discipline are virtues often cultivated through the process. The journey teaches individuals to be patient in the face of challenges and to maintain discipline in their efforts, contributing to a more balanced and resilient approach to achieving goals.
Wow. You're so deep and so profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Reverend Mali, you seem like you've not recovered from her 5 years.
You know, I was just recently, you know, we are sharing. In the past, let's say 7 years, one word that I've seen as key to the Christian life is the word patience. To me, at that stage. Because, you know, we grew up where even some people, fathers, we see lovely children and call them patience. When they grow up, they say, Kai, I'm changing this name.
Not patient.
Don't call me patient again. I'm now grace. I'm now fast or something. Now, when you were talking about tenacity that grows in the process, my mind flashed to my mom. She rears chicken. She has a local and she has the agric. So the first thing, the local, they are laying the eggs. Now you have an option. What we usually do sometimes is to steal the egg and go fry. But you know what? If you allow that egg, there's a possibility that egg will turn into a chicken. But now this is the danger. When the incubation starts and the egg has gone for like 5 days, and anything happens to that egg that has lost the process of 21 days incubation that God gave that egg, you can't fry it again.
And it can't turn into
a chicken.
So sad.
So we now have half-baked people, half-baked professionals, half-baked husbands moving in society, and guess the implication, they are producing half-baked, they are producing their kind. Now, to conclude on that, my chicken evaluation, to my shock, just like 3 weeks ago, I was shocked. There's this chicken, the local one, very small. Then the big agric chicken. So we threw in feeds for them. And the agric was eating. Then to my shock, this small local chicken just came bullying. I said, do you know who you are? Do you know how big you are? Then, but as you guys were talking now, I said, yes, we've done all our things about, but that natural one has something inside that was put in by the original maker that the other artificial or local one, the artificial one did not have. Resilience is built in every process.
Wow, resilience
is built in every process. And concluding my thoughts, we are not saying we should go back to analog. We're not saying, I want to go through the process and start trekking from Lagos to Abuja. But we are saying that whatever you are doing, even in that new approach, there is still a process we should not ignore.
I really love the resilience is built through the process or in the process. Mr. Tolu, we're about rounding up this segment. Would you, speak to someone there and, encourage them?
Okay. I think you would have taken a lot of encouragement just hearing everyone, just to lend a voice to that there's still, if you're in the process, stay in the process.
Thank you.
Don't come out of the process because you think you've not gotten to the end. Someone said the fact that you're in a garage doesn't make you a car. Your present situation doesn't define you.
True.
Our present experiences, contradictory as they may seem, doesn't define the destiny. So stay in the process. Like he said, resilience is built in the process. And, when you were talking about patience, something came to my mind, something I heard, that we hear of faith movements, you don't hear much of patience movements. So stay in the process. Yeah, I think that's...
Talking about that, scripture says that when patience has her perfect work in you, you will be perfect, complete, lacking nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good point to end this conversation. Lacking nothing. When you go through the process, that eventually happens. All right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll play our game.
Thanks for joining us on Heart to Heart.
It's good to have you both on the program.
It's our pleasure to be here.
What is the truth? I've been singing for as long as...
A program that allows you into the world of your favorite artists as they share their personal stories with you.
And we realized on the second day it wasn't improving.
And there are many people who have been there and have compromised.
No matter what I face.
People go from admiring these people and forget that these people are really human.
The program gives you the opportunity to really see the person behind every performance you see.
See how we changed my life. See how we washed me clean.
Watch episodes of Heart to Heart on this channel.
Hello, you're still watching Viral Virtue, and we've been having great conversations. Now it's time to fight. So this is the game. This is the game plan. He's my rep.
He's mine.
He's our rep, and the idea is each team keeps pouring some water into the green cup that is almost full. The first team that pours water in the cup and it spills is out. As in, when you guys pour and it spills, you're out.
When you guys pour.
So who's going first?
Okay. Just before we start, Rev, I just wanted you to know that we've already won.
Exactly.
We are speaking it. Just for you to know.
I totally support you.
We won. We won.
No, we've already won. So we are just bringing into physical manifestation what we've already had.
All right, so here we go.
For those who know, Miango 2023.
Oh, yes.
Let's repeat it.
Okay, go, Mr. Tolu.
Native chicken. Agric chicken. Broiler.
No, that's the idea.
Native chicken.
It's not.
Broiler.
Okay.
Native.
Native, Abby. Wisdom.
Okay. The nations are like a drop in the bucket.
Agree.
International champion. Show them how it's done.
Exactly.
That is it.
Are you for counting the drops?
I think the credits have started rolling, right?
Yeah.
This thing, okay, let's move it. No,
We're winners.
We've won. You are about to be, in the future. You've gone through the process already.
Broiler, run.
Okay.
Wow. It's getting funny.
Okay. Don't worry, we're a family.
Are you already?
No.
We celebrate with you even if you lost.
Why are you coming to my side? Do you think if he comes to my side? I don't know. I'm just so confident I've won this game.
Hallelujah. Yeah, don't worry. False confidence. She even agrees with me.
No, that's all you guys have.
I'm patiently winning.
Wow.
Patiently winning.
Okay.
It's your pressing method. Okay. Even though I'm not even shaking. I don't know. You know, as we're playing, one fear entered me. I just bind the fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good one. This is the most interesting game.
Hey! Okay, now. Drop in a bucket.
Wow,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Rev, that was too good for you.
Wow.
I say we've won.
In your mind.
We've won. Oh yeah, spill.
Not lie. Not lie.
Wow. Whatever you're doing.
Let's get something to start cleaning now. It's going to spill.
No, that's not true. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, it's true. I'm doing Psalm 23, and in my study, save my cup run it over.
Rev, not running over.
Wow.
For now, it's not running over.
Don't you see your cup run it over, surely?
Correct.
It spilled.
It did
no,
not
it didn't.
spill.
I can't say it.
Ojoro.
No, it didn't.
Mr. Mario, yeah, let's go home.
Okay.
Spill. No.
My cup run it. Your cup run it over. Man of God, don't say surely. Your cup run it over.
There is no way. Absolutely no way.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Your cup run it over.
So now when
surely
the masters,
goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell. Yes, our cup run it over.
Encouraging yourself.
Yeah, of course.
I think you had so much
my cup run it over.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of this show. I'm sure we had so much fun. All right, thank you. I hope you had so much fun at home. I hope you learned that going through the process is key. If you would like to be a part of the show, if you would like to be a guest on the show, if you would like to sponsor the show, please feel free to contact us through the details on your screen.
True. Be a part of us.
All right, so until next time, it's selfie time. All right. That did not flow.
Yeah, come here, sir.
Okay.
Do we take it again?